Your team is banning.
And we are live for the second match of the day. It's the lower bracket finals between Bren Esport and evossg. Evos coming from a 2-0 victory against GeekFam, and now they're wanting to get the same result here against Bren Esport, as Sunsparks is winning in the grand finals. And we're going to be delivering the action here in the MYTEL International Championship Series 1 2020. I am Nomad. Alongside with me is Leo.
Pardon the long break, ladies and gentlemen. We just had to make sure that both teams are in a tippy-top shape, especially after Evos sweep GeekFam. They are on fire. So, yeah, if anyone has momentum, it's Evos here. And Bren, yesterday they got knocked down into the lower bracket. And right now, both teams once more fighting for tournament life. Let's see how they are going to respond to each other here. Again, Evos sweeped GeekFam, and yesterday Sunsparks sweeped Bren Esports. Now, it's going to be Bren on the play here, banning out the Popol Kupa and Kaja. So, good pickoffs here, while Evos takes out the Valir and the Natalia.
Yeah. And a Selena is automatically going to be picked up. That's either going to be a Few or a Rebo Selena pickup. Esmeralda can't go wrong with the Thoms being picked up though by Evos. Instead, they're opting to go for a Jawhead. Now,
Your team is picking.
Bren might still go for a Gushin side lane and a Thoms as well. That's a complete possibility. But that is an insta-lock on the Claude as well. That's a Carl Teasy Claude.
There you go. So at least we can see more clearly what Bren Esports here is bringing to the table. We know what they want to do, and we know where their damage is going to be coming from. On the other end, though, this could go either way. Esmeralda could be on Pokemon, could even be on Potato if they so decide to make this their core, but the jury's still out on that. Nice pickup on the Jawhead, though. I like that. And here we go. The Atlas. Still not revealing their tank is Bren Esport, so we'll see how they respond after the second half of banning.
Kufra should be banned out here though. 100% sure. It's either... Yeah, it has to be a Kufra ban here for Evos. There is no way that you should be allowing EJ to get his hands on the Kufra, and that is going to be the Kufra ban.
Yeah, now we see EJ in an interesting position. That's putting it very lightly. Who could they pick up now as a solid front liner? Grok? We can see Grok?
Maybe a high loss though. Good ban on the carry.
Mm-hmm.
But that
Choke out
would
the cores.
mean a Uranus is not out of the picture here for Bren Esports too.
Oh yeah, if Evos knows exactly how a Uranus and Tams lineup would work, that's what they used to sweep GeekFam with. So yeah, they could pick up the Uranus and then look for that sweet spot where they can put in that tank for EJ and who it's gonna be.
Wait, hold up. It might be an Angeline combo here.
Oh yeah, Ling's still here. No, what is this? Masha?
Masha hasn't been very effective this entire tournament though.
Well, Masha's not so bad.
Yeah, but there are a lot of check marks that you have to go for Masha to be effective, to say the least. And a high loss is going to be a good pickup here, and already being pointed out there by EJ. It's going to be helping out Carl Teasy, and this is going to be a better lineup by Bren Esports. Getting the X-Borg on the side lane is going to be, as I said, economically better for the side of Bren Esports. Now, they can opt to go for a Ling core here for Evos for that Angela to start working. But they're starting to get a bit of a double take there on the Ling pick.
They're thinking about it. I'm glad that they did not pull the trigger on what they flashed with Rebo. So the X-Borg is safe, and as well the Hylos. Looking forward to this. Again, we can expect aggressive starts, and now they show us once more their lower bracket elimination winning Hayabusa. So This is okay. I feel all right with this. Nomad, these two lineups going head to head in game one. What's your take here? Do you prefer the Hayabusa carry or the Claude on Cartesi?
Well, I'm a man of simplicity. And Claude, 9 times out of 10, have been proven to be more effective than Hayabusa when going into a team fight because, well, we've been used to a Hayabusa relegated to the split push role, and we never really see that much Hayabusa joining in the fight. evossg, on the other hand, have been proving us wrong with the Hayabusa joining in the fray and making sure that the damage output is still there. And and with Hayabusa being an assassin that he is, will be able to assassinate this this Claude in the backlines if ever Lusty, I mean EJ, won't be able to protect him properly.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, with that being said, I think I'll have to agree. And again, evossg here coming in hot. They're feeling it. And Bren Esports, they're going from 0 to 100 if they want to sweep Evos. So that's a tall order here. But ladies and gentlemen, this is game one in a best of three. So lower bracket finals. The game after this, though, it's well, the series after this is going to be the grand finals here. So do stay with us. And let's see the action unfold.
And share the stream as well. Show your love. If you're from Singapore and you support Evos PH, go ahead and share the stream to your friends. And if you're from the Philippines and you support Bren Esports, share the stream. Show some love in the chat. Let the teams know that they have your support. And speaking
here
of
we
support,
go.
a bit of a supporting role here for Bren Esports as they push forward into the Evos lineup here to the Evos side of the line. There goes the Abyssal Arrow onto Soul. Soul's going to be forced to flicker out. Rebo's going to be chasing him out. That is going to be the first blood. Fire Missile's going to be enough to take him out. EJ takes down JPL. Potato joining in the fray. A quick succession of kills. It is a 1-for-4 trade. Immediately not looking good for evossg.
Yep, and Potato here can't even fight for his own buff. Am I right? Yeah, Potato couldn't touch it.
Oh, he
so
got
there you go. Cartesi with the early blazing duet gets a kill. That's a 5-1. That's a core-on-core violence, Nomad. And the shutdown occurs on Potato after getting a kill earlier. Early start here for Bren Esports. Not even 2 minutes in. Wow.
We're here for a slobber knocker.
Or a sprint. If these two teams are going at it this early, this fast, it could be a sprint.
It could be, yeah. And we have to take in consideration, though, that the grand finals is going to be played in a best of 5 series. And Evos PH, as much as possible, would not want to go into a 3-game series against Bren Esports because they want to make sure that their stamina is all on point. And speaking of stamina being all on point, Cartesi and the Glorious Pathway being popped in. It's all about, making sure that they finish the game as fast as they can. And with EJ being there, the Glorious Pathway will make sure that Cartesi would be able to chase down anyone as fast as he can.
Just as much as it is a defense tool or used for sustain, it can be used very, very well as an initiate and as a way to deal damage, if you will. But again, you're requiring some level of follow-through. But that's of no shortage in Bren Esports. Again, Cartesi here. I'm glad to see our players here back mostly in what role they're used to playing. Because yesterday we saw Bren Esports play around with their roles, which could be a factor to seeing them get swept. But here, this is mostly sticking to 4. But look at this now. Fight near the turtle den. There is the last insanity already being committed here by Rebo from the side. That's a 2 for none. And the Glorious Pathway as well. Lusty still having a little bit of that Inferno with a 3-0. Now making it a 4-0. And Soul is just like a lost soul in the middle, just clearing the waves. Like, all right, I guess I'm not going to join the fight.
Yeah, I'm just going to farm up. That's what I'm going to do. And it's an 11-1 score line. Already half the gold is what Bren has in their pockets. This is not looking like a good game for Evos PH, especially in the early game. If anything, evossg can bounce back in the late game as soon as we reach the 12-13 minute mark, if ever we're gonna reach it.
Given that it's a Hayabusa on Cartesi's soft clawed, that could be a factor, but I'm still not counting out how strong of a start Bren Esport has now. 11-1, Nomad. 11-1. 7,000 gold ahead in just 4 minutes, 30 seconds in.
And EJ will, I think he's just waiting for the glorious pathway to be available before they start diving in. Aeon looking to get the last insanity. Not gonna happen. Not the last insanity. The fatal links. It is gonna happen, but to their detrimental downfall. Early immortality by Rebo too.
Yeah, pulling in the pain. All right, it's like they asked for it. Like,
oh
yes, please.
my god!
More. Oh, Pokemon follows through. Cartesi gonna rain down the damage onto this turret. Oh, he comes in. I guess he has max stacks. Down goes JPL. That's gonna be Eon and Potato just barely surviving. They don't want any of this. Nomad, what's going on?
Bren wants to finish this as fast as they can, and they can possibly do that. This all happened because of that first 5-man fight that should not have happened for Evos. They committed a lot of bodies onto the Little Wanderer, and it just costed them this mid-game for them. All turrets are down 5 minutes into the game.
Ooh. No penetration though, just yet. No penetration just yet. So at least there's some breathing room for evossg. But look at this now. There's another deadly blazing duet here by Cartesi. Not taking anyone out. Heartguard just coming in time. Cartesi might bite the dust here. Soul shuts him down. That's a lot of gold going over to the side of evossg. Now Pokemon wants to pick another fight with JPL inside of him. There you go, the glorious pathway laid down by EJ. They're still in this. Lusty goes down here. JPL gets the finishing touch, but Lusty finishes off Potato and Soul together. Now, that was a 2 for 3, actually. Bren Esport still winning that trade in the end.
Oh my god, Bren Esports. Oh my god, Cartesi. He has 6 kills and he has Bounty Hunter on. He's got a lot of cash in the pockets, my guy. 6,000 to be exact. Twice that of Soul. And Hayabusa is nowhere near twice of that.
Oof.
And
all right.
Cartesi just wants more and more, man.
More and more. Oh, man. This is going to be a quick match if they don't do anything here to stop the TT, all right, the tower termination, because that's what's next up top, as Rebo is just going to continue to take the small camp and then finish up by taking down the turret. And
I just gotta say, signals have to be sent here for evossg. They need to make sure that they don't dive in the fights just like Uwa and just, you know, mess everything up. They need to start cheering up for themselves.
Oh man, Lusty, look at that, taking down the turret. Pressure's crashing down through all waves, all lanes here for Bren Esport, and Cartesi 6-1 and 8 gonna take down this turtle all by himself just in time before Lord manages to count down for his spawn. Now look at this, Potato caught out here by Rebo, jumped on by Lusty, and he gets the finishing touch, popping the Inferno. No, actually he did not have to pop the Inferno, that was his passive triggering right there with the flames around him. Man, this Tams on Lusty, I'm liking it so far. Me likey, because we don't really see Lusty with a hero like this. We usually see him as a tank or as a support, as shown yesterday. Sometimes a mage with Farsa here and there, but his performance here as the Tams, just like Pokemon in the
format! Oh, but the damage
down. No, it is what they paid for, and JPL gonna get away. No, don't finish the job here. I think it's a GG, Nomad. 8 minutes in, under 9 for sure. They're going to finish this. Bren Esport is gonna take game 1, and they're just gonna have some insurance as they wait for the minion wave to crash in and take mid, and it's over. What a performance.
That was... I mean, Oh my god, my
To be
heart.
fair, it was nothing fancy. It was really just a solid lineup. They got a Selena, nice tank that's able to go back and forth. Um, it's nothing new to see from Bren Esports. It's just the way that they executed that really impresses me.
I'm at a loss for words. Yeah, that was a complete scene. Carl TC is already level 15, 9 minutes into the game.
And it's scary to think that maybe your opponent's going to be aggressive. How do you respond? Maybe draft a lineup that's able to protect your buffs. It's a tough situation here for evossg. So I think one more key for them here is to mentally reset. They gotta go back. They gotta go back and make sure that they enter game 2 fresh.
Yep. And the primary point in game number 1 was that Evos wasn't able to kill this Claude, so to speak, from Carl TZ. They were playing with fire every time that Carl TZ wanted to go in with the Blazing Duet. So I guess get Carl TZ's comfort picks out of the way. That may be the winning call here for Evos to force a game 3.
Yeah, we saw it in Geek Fam versus evossg. They were starting to choke out the cores. So, with that being said, Evos now picking up on the trend here. Correct. You ban out the Claude, and I don't think it's an exaggeration if I say you play this as if it's your last, because technically it is. If you lose this game here, you're swept by Bren and you're knocked out of the MYTEL International Championship. So you really have to give your best. And this is solid. 1, a respect ban, and 2, an active ban. Nobody wants to see a Natalia. Very dangerous. And Bren Esports here, they are banning out the Popolin Koopa, JPL, stopping your tracks, and their kryptonite, man. Their weakness. It's the Selena. So this is Bren Esports. They're feeling it, man. They're headed for the grand finals.
They're feeling it. And Evos SG, I mean, will do whatever they can to stay in the tournament run as they go for an Esmeralda hover and an eventual lock-in.
So there's many different ways you could play this Esmeralda, but as a core, I hope not, because it's essentially easily countered. You have so much to rely on for this to work. You have to really make her snowball. So I'm guessing this is going to be a mid laner or a side laner for Evos. They really need someone reliable, like a Kimmy, man. Like bring out the championship Kimmy or the carry, right, for Potato. But yeah, Bren Esports, you're gonna lock in the Tams. Ooh, I feel it. It might be on Lasty once more, and they pick up the Kaja. Ooh, first time we're gonna see Kaja today.
Is it a Rebo Kaja, or is it going to be an EJ Kaja? I don't feel like EJ's the Kaja fits for EJ.
Yeah, though. No, most likely Rebo or Lasty, because again the Tams is such a Swiss Army knife of a hero, and he can move around. But yeah, I like the Kaja here. Atlas here locked in, as well as the Valier. First time to see Valier again today, as well here today in the MYTEL International Championships. It's the grand finals, ladies and gentlemen, later on, and this is the road to it. And we're finally seeing Valier.
Man, make him whistle like a missile. The fires are gonna be coming in, and the Ling is going to be on the hands of Carl TZ though. They have the Kaja as well, so there are no good catches for this Ling.
Well, there is some CC in Valier. You could get a good catch in with a well-placed Falling Star Moon, and yeah,
Your team
we're gonna go into the second phase of banning here, and so far these two teams are keeping their cards close to their chest. For Bren Esports, I think their linchpin is going to be the tank. They need to pick a very good tank. And, I support this Grok. I mean, it could be again, Atlas, such a fair tank, all right? He telegraphs where he comes in from, unless he flickers into you with the Fatal Links. But, yeah, if you pop your initiate with Atlas and you don't get the Fatal Links in, you're caught out there, and you basically don't know what to do. You're safely in distance. You could be pulled in by the Kaja here, or just face down a Uranus and a Tams. And Nomad, the Uranus and Tams, it's a combo that we usually see not working, but here it seems to be it equals money, man. It seems to equal money.
I agree with you. And we've seen a couple of Uranuses having the 8G lineup, having the execute lifestyle there that manages to make it work. But they're opting to go for Terizla. The Terizla is a good choice for this Ling.
Is it though? Because we saw it picked up earlier this week, possibly yesterday.
It wasn't
and
against the Ling though.
I guess so. With the Ling and you see the Tempest of Blades, you pop the penalty zone. Like peekaboo, I guess. But man, it still feels like such a psycho pick for me. It's not favorable. All right. So far, that's a big question mark. But I do love the Cho. Don't get me wrong. I do love the Cho. And by the looks of things, this might be a core Esmeralda because there's no one else in that lineup that can carry the team. No pun intended. We do miscarry. But Bren kept their cards close to their chest. They only revealed the Grok in the very last part of their draft. But with that being said, I think I'll favor Bren Esport's lineup here. It's just so much safer, and there's so much that can go wrong again with the Terizla. Terizla doesn't feel right in this meta just yet.
Yeah, I'll go up against you with you here. I feel like it's gonna be an Evos game, game number 2. But there are a couple of check marks that needs to be met. One of those check marks is if Terizla is in the team fight where Ling is attempting to go for the Tempest of Blades. If Terizla has that, if he times the penalty zone just right, Ling would be knocked up and disabled for a couple of seconds, more than enough time for Esmeralda to shred down Ling.
All right, so I guess it's the catch to the catch. It's the counter to the anti-funnel. It's the anti-funnel
It's
funnel.
the
I don't know.
anti-funnel, anti-funnel strat.
We'll see. But again, this is great innovation from evossg. Credit where credit is due. If this lineup does work, then we're bound to see a game 3. But look at this down bottom Lusty. Gonna be taken out so early. No way he's gonna get away from this. Soul takes down the Tams on Lusty. That's first blood for evossg. Off to a good start already.
Getting the early first blood onto this Cho would be impactful. Cho does need to at least get a Blade of Despair in order for him to start going. Little Wonder is going to be secured by Bren Esports. A couple of bodies being committed here onto EJ. EJ managed to survive. Carl Teasy jumping on to Pokemon. Pokemon's going to be managed to make it out alive. Potato does have the combo available. Gets Carl Teasy. Soul flickers in for the Jeet Kundo onto Carl Teasy. That's going to be EJ getting knocked up as well. Rebo, next one in line, is going to fall down, and that is a 4-0 trade in favor of Evos.
Okay, I can appreciate now what Evos is drafting here. I didn't see it this way, but the angle seems to be...
Oh!
Early, we don't even need items. We just need our kit, and it's going to work out. So far, it's going that way. 5-0 currently. Ahead by about 3,000 or 2,000 and change here is evossg. And Nomad, they don't even need the penalty zone. The body of Smith and the amount of damage that Terizla is dealing, that seems to be their ticket to game 3.
That is what I am going to be pointing out and be looking forward to, though. Potato needs to make sure that in a big team fight later on, a penalty zone would be on point. Not a moment too late, especially with Carl Teasy just looming over the horizon here, all across the map. Nice flicker onto the Fatal Links. And the Wave the Dragon as well onto Few, just to ensure that he will not be able to go to his teammates. There goes the Tempest of Blades, and Carl Teasy finally gets a score on the board here. JPL going to try to dish out a couple of damage there on the side of Bren, but they are going to be backing off.
And here we go. Carl Teasy getting chased down by JPL Pokemon and Eon. Eon looking for a target. He does not have Fatal Link, so it's just a threat.
Oh, Potato! Penalty zone not connecting.
Penalty zone from behind. He gets knocked up with a wild charge. Potato, though, surviving with the help of body of Smith, and he's still in it. EJ's actually hesitant to fight back, but there you go. The pull onto Eon by Few knocks out the Atlas. That's another for Bren Esport at the cost of no lives. So that's at least good. But Kaltizi gonna get knocked out by Soul. Oh my god, the full combo gets him. But off cam, well, almost. Potato gets knocked out finally, and there's a kill. One more for Bren Esport, but they're still way behind.
Starting to, I mean, the Filipino teams are fearing the Ling on Kaltizi, but evossg, they don't give a damn. They will just allow this Kaltizi to keep moving forward. And even if they pick up the Ling, they have proper answers. Esmeralda has a lot of shield, so the Tempest of Blades will not really be that much of a factor. Potato will be available at any time to just soak up all the damage that Kaltizi wants to deliver, and the penalty zone will be the primary catch for these guys as well.
Yeah, now that you mention it, it looks like this is no funnel at all. I mean, that's not funny, but it's no funnel at all because you have damage from Soul, you have damage from Potato, and you have damage from Pokemon, and JPL is no slouch either. So I think this is the anti-meta strategy that we've been looking for. And there's the pull onto Soul. Soul, though, fighting back with the way of the dragon and the flicker out of 3 members of Bren Esport, and he survives while Potato up top. There's not much Rebo can do. Finishes off the first turret of the game. What an interesting attack on the meta. This is out of nowhere, but wait. Oh!
Speaking
the
of
flicker
out of nowhere.
plus the RKO, if you will, the Fatal Links taking out Kaltizi.
Man, it is 10-3, 4 minutes into the game. This is almost the same score line that Bren Esports was during game number 1 against Evos. And it's not working well for them. Lussie's going to be diving in, going to be popping out the corner. It's not going to be that much of a factor, though. He's going to be pushed way behind enemy lines, going to be taken out.
The way that Bren responded to that, though, if he dies, he dies. They were just elsewhere on the map, and maybe Lusty could have fought back, but I guess that's an opportunity they cannot afford. So they'll find what they can on the map elsewhere and make sure that Kaltizi can farm. But again, at 1-4-0, man, it's really tough to be a Ling at this point in the game.
Man, it's let's have a look at the wallets of these guys. Kaltizi's relatively not that far behind, but he's still behind. It's not that big of a lead, and it's still completely possible for Kaltizi to bounce back. And as I say that, Kaltizi manages to barely escape. Okay, he manages to escape now. And he doesn't want any of that. He needs to back off here. No point in turning back. He is going to try to turn back. Good thing that Evos is getting disengaged.
He'll weave in and out. He does not want to go home. That's quite a bit of time shed off of his jungling time, his farm. But I think JPL got hit with a pull. Yeah, Few committed the Divine Judgment there. But off cam, it was Pokemon just taking the turtle. Oh, man, what a turnaround. And how poetic is that? Game 1, Bren Esport stomps Evos. And in game 2, it's Evos who's actually driving, if you will. They took this game by the reins with such an unorthodox lineup. But I like it.
It's not as sound, but it is working. That's the only thing that's going on here for evossg, and that's why I like this lineup. It's built specifically in order for Link to not be able to go in for the big team fights, and even then, there have been a couple of questionable plays here for Bren Esports, and there goes the wild charge, attempting to knock 5 people out all at the same time. Cauterant's not going to be enough for Lusty to survive. That nice Guardian's Barrier allows Rebo to take down Soul in the back lines, but that has to be a complete disengage. I think the win condition here for Bren Esports is for Kaltizi to create a lot of space for his team. What I mean by that is he needs to start pushing, just like what he is doing in the top lane. Being the mobile hero that he is in mobilelegendsbangbang, he can do so without any problems. And it has to always be Potato or Pokemon responding to what Cartesi is going to do in the split pushes.
Here's an interesting thought. Oh wait, hold up. JPL getting caught out by few. Divine Judgment. Cartesi committing the Tempest of Blades. That's what I was gonna bring up actually. Oh wait, hold up. Beta links onto Cartesi. He is gonna blink away. Run up to the wall. Actually, Finch Boys. There you go. Full combo down onto Lusty. Not gonna survive despite popping the Inferno. And yeah, 1-for-1 here. JPL for Lusty. I was gonna say, what if they start just trying to take down JPL more often, more actively, right? They try to take down the arguably most fragile member of evossg and take their farm from that. That might be a good direction here for Bren Esports.
What I gotta say though is that Bren Esports can fight, but not as a 5-man unit. They cannot stand a full 5v5 fight. Pickoffs, just like what you said on JPL, might work wonders for them. But they should not be the ones getting picked off. They should not be the ones initiating the fight. They should be counter-engaging. As soon as they counter-engage, just get one pick off, back off, go for the reset, and go for another fight. That's how I see Bren Esports should be doing the team fights.
Yeah, conversions, think about them later. Big ticket team fights, think about them later. Few just get picked off here by Pokemon with a single falling Star Moon and just being chased down with a bite. Oh, this is difficult for Bren Esports. I can imagine wherein they're not even safe in their own jungle. So game 1 for Bren Esports, at least they ended quickly. But for this, it's a surgical dissection here by evossg.
Such a surgical yeah, evossg, they are the surgeon generals here, taking command of the game and making sure that all moves are in their favor. They're under the operating room with a scalpel in their hands, and they're just making fine surgical incisions into the lineup of Bren Esports. As I say that though, a 1-for-1 trade. JPL is gonna pay the price for that penalty zone being forced, and that's the penalty zone on cooldown. Not an opening for Bren Esports. It is a 1-for-2 trade in their favor, but it's not working well for them. But as I say that, Pokemon's in a tight spot, gets knocked up by the wild charge, and Aeon immediately goes for the backup. And
nope, he got the trigger on the Fatal Links, and he just used it up. So yeah, the kills that Bren Esports can score though at this point in the game will not exactly convert immediately. At least it's some space, and it's some way to even out what early game evossg has built for themselves. And so far, I'm giving this maybe a 30-70. All right, 30-70 is still respectable. It's still possible, but actually very generous, given that the mistake has to come from evossg as they pick off Rebo really easily down bottom. EJ, not much he could have done as they stare down Lord. But look at this Pokemon really low already, but that's few, and Cartesi committing so much to even just doing that much damage to Pokemon, and Pew pays the price. Not a single casualty on evossg, by the way.
Not a single one. And the money now is Cartesi is scaling really well. He is at the same board as Potato and Pokemon. But the problem there is that he is the only one on the same page as Potato and Pokemon. Rebo is slowly catching up. He's going to be a problem soon enough. But we're not going to be seeing any... We're not really going to be expecting a lot of big team fights here coming from Bren Esports. They will almost always lose the team fights.
Lusty pop there in the middle of this big fight. But now Pokemon gets shut down. That's a lot of gold going over to the side of Bren Esports. Eon going to follow suit. And the Lord is actually helping out in this big 5v5 fight, and Cartesi gets to steal the Lord. They took it, actually turning it into a 2v3, and JPL gonna run for his life. Cartesi has a great bite on him as well with that orange buff, and it became a 2-for-4 Nomad, plus this orange buff steal, plus the Lord take, plus a push by Rebo. What's going on? This is actually Soul running for his life now. He cannot even secure their own purple.
Man, I just got proven wrong there. They can go for the team fights, but I can say that the factor there was that they were fighting inside the Lord Pit. Fighting inside the Lord Pit means that you will get knocked up. You will get swung on by the Lord, and that just adds another level, another layer of damage that Bren Esports is sort of lacking. And there's really nothing that evossg could have done there. If evossg decided to just stick with the Lord and try to take him out, there is a big chance that Bren Esports could have stolen it. And the team fight that happened thereon, it's just went to Bren Esports' way. Couldn't have fought it any other way.
Yep. If you try to describe how the team fight went, you just say Bren Esports, they just went, man. It just happened, and Lord helped out. And now here we go. The siege on top has begun, from having no turrets to themselves to now threatening mid and top. What a swing here by Bren Esports. Fatal Links now on few. He gets knocked out by Pokemon. Penalty zone already being committed as well. There's the Tempest of Blades. Potato at less than half health. Now EJ wants to get out of here despite having immortality. You cannot just surrender yourself like that. And they get a pick off on Few. Few is such a martyr in this game, man. Few is such a martyr, but his divine judgment is just so valuable.
Oh man, it's he shouldn't be giving himself away that easily, though. He is a crucial member, a crucial catch here on the side of Bren Esports. So there's that.
If we're wondering who the prime target is for this divine judgment, who do you think it would be, Nomad?
A lot of choices. It has to be Pokemon or JPL. That's for one. Or if Soul is gonna go for the Jeet Kundo combos, don't give him any chance to go for the Wave the Dragon, because that's gonna be an opening for him to kick Carl TZ in towards the side of evossg.
Yeah,
that's not something that you want to happen. And that is another beautiful 3-man Fatal Links. Penalty zone's not available because he's not there just yet. Gets a penalty zone onto Lussie, just onto Lussie. But Lussie is slowly being tanky here, and Few not being the one to falter. Takes down Aeon. Potato probably going to be next in line. He is not going to be as tanky as he wants to, and Bren Esports is winning this fight.
Wow. EJ just knowing exactly when to stay, when to go, and Lusty tanking it all, using Tam's passive and Counter Inferno to just the most that he could. But now up next, Pokemon gets caught up top. It's a 0 for 3, and I think the penetration that Bren has been looking for is gonna happen here. What a turnaround. Nomad, they've been losing for the most of the early and the mid game, but the late game seems to belong to them. This is going to be mid, pierced through by the spear or the sword of Carl TZ, and up next is gonna be the top lane with Few keeping the pressure up down bottom. Oh my god, it seems like the team fights that last long with weird outcomes or with a weird order of ults seem to benefit Bren Esports, and they know exactly just that as they continue the siege onto evossg's base.
Nice
Eon, gonna be popped up here. Immortality, he has it. He gets the hell out of here. Potato already used penalty zone, and he seems to still be fighting. Oh, there's a Fatal Links onto EJ. Down goes EJ. Immortality still popped up. He's fine. Pokemon knocking down Lusty, and they need to get out of here. That's gonna be a 1 for 1. Soul for Lusty, but they lost 2 turrets in the process. And just like that, Bren Esports back in the driver's seat.
Man, this is Alright, so we're kind of seeing how Bren Esports wants to fight. They want to go for the prolonged team fights where it's not the entire evossg lineup that's available for them. It's the moment that evossg clumps up together as a team and waiting and ready for a fight, that is when Bren Esports will lose. If they're gonna go for the siege and just take down the top lane turret, and there are no minion waves in their favor, they need to reset. They need to back off, wait for an opportunity to pick off 1 or 2 members from evossg, because really, that just goes to show that the defense in the base, evossg can still fight as a team. They are relying on Aeon and Potato so much to catch members here from the side of Bren.
Yeah. And can I play devil's advocate for a bit? Maybe, just maybe, we're at the point where Bren can actually start picking up 5v5s because of Lusty. I saw how amazing the Cotton Inferno could be in the face of 5 enemies, but now look at this. Carteezy picking a fight here with Soul. Now the fight has come to Carteezy, and Aeon shuts him down with the full combo, the Dragon's Way. Now the penalty zone has been committed here by Potato, and looking really low is Aeon. He wants to get out of here. Nice block by EJ, but it might be too little too late as JPL is also caught in the crossfire. Down goes EJ now. Still no casualties on the side of evossg. Is this a turnaround of the turnaround? Pokemon takes down Lusty, and JPL feeling the wrath of Few and Rebo from the backlines. The originals from the El Clasico from the Philippine MPL scene. Soul taken out here by Fuse Kaja. And that's a 1 for 3. But it opens up the Lord take for Pokemon and Eon. Not unless Few has something to say.
Few hurts though.
Yeah?
He's hurting. He's hurting.
Oh,
Aeon's gonna be forced back here. That's gonna be the falling star moon committed as well, and he hurts Pokemon. It doesn't matter. Few and Rebo, they're dishing out a lot of damage. Carteezy's gonna be diving in.
Look at Carteezy. Oh no, he's just gonna finish the job. This is good target prioritization, but Potato though, he has something to say.
Oh, penalty zone. It's gonna be secured by Carteezy. Gets a knock-up last minute though by the Lord. No follow-throughs here by Evos. Oh my God, my guy.
What a messy team fight that spans respawns after respawns across 2 different fronts with members who died first and then they came back for another round. This is ridiculous. This anybody's game still, Nomad. But must note here, almost 20 minutes in, Bren Esport is actually up by about 8,000 gold.
That just happened with this swing earlier in that team fight near the purple buff. That's how Bren Esports was able to turn things around.
Oh.
And now the defense is now have to be mounted up by evossg. Lord slowly going in. That's a 3-man penalty zone and a fatal links, but the HPs are still relatively healthy here for Bren Esports. evossg HPs are all dropping dangerously low. Carteezy takes down Soul. Over in near the Lord, they're doing what they can to take him down, but I think this is it. This is going to be it, and Bren Esports might just go ahead and go to the finals and face off against Sunsparks.
evossg, they owned the early and the mid game here. It was such an unorthodox lineup that they really just could have snowballed, but it seems like Bren Esports just found that window. It was a small window. It was a difficult game, to say the least. This is an understatement, but they turned it around after, I'm guessing, 2 team fights, 2.5 team fights. They were able to maintain their